The rain was a cold, insistent lie, failing to wash the city clean. Batman stood over the body of Carmine Falcone Jr., not a mob boss of the old guard, but a petty drug runner trying to climb the ladder. The scene was neat, almost surgical. A single, precise stab wound to the heart. The kind of kill performed by someone who understood anatomy, not rage. Commissioner Gordon arrived, his trench coat pulled tight around his thin frame, every line of his face etched with professional exhaustion. "The ghost," Gordon murmured, staring at the corpse. "They're escalating." The previous kills were blunt force, savage. This is clinical. Batman's cowl sensors registered a faint, sharp scent on the floor, the decomposition product of specific cleaning agents mixed with organic matter, chloramine gas. This meant bleach had been used. "Jim, I'm picking up residue of a strong base cleaner. It suggests early contamination." Gordon looked at the ground, then to a nearby storm drain. "I noticed it too, Batman. We called sanitation. Apparently they were clearing a sewage blockage 2 blocks down an hour ago. Standard municipal treatment. Sometimes the runoff catches a bad draft. We'll note it in the report, but I doubt it's related to the perp." He delivered the bureaucratic explanation with the dry authority of a man who dealt with municipal excuses daily. Back in the Batcave, the atmosphere was one of quiet, ordered efficiency. Alfred Pennyworth, ever the picture of unwavering support, worked on maintenance logs. Bruce pulled the cowl back, holding the data from his independent field kit. "Alfred, the Batcomputer's analysis of the Falcone scene is listing common surfactants. My independent field unit shows restricted toxins. I need you to run a deep-spectrum diagnostic on the mainframe sensors." Alfred placed his tablet down, approaching the issue with measured concern. "Of course, Master Bruce. But before we suspect hardware failure, consider the scenario. Your field unit is accurate, but was exposed to the ambient environment. The main computer analyzes the sample in situ within the cave's controlled atmosphere." Alfred walked to the screen, tapping slowly. "Look at the time logs. The city's weather modeling shows a severe atmospheric pressure drop starting at 0115. This pressure change can cause a known technical phenomenon called atmospheric ionization drift in older deep-spectrum scanners. The main unit is reading a spectral signature shift, interpreting the subtle signature of the toxin as a heavy water-based surfactant. I'll need to install a new dampener, but for now, trust the raw chemical data from your manual test, not the machine's interpretation." Bruce felt the tremor of paranoia. Alfred's explanation was too layered, too perfect. It sent Bruce chasing a system bug instead of a human actor. The killings continued, but Batman stopped relying on the system. He relied on statistical anomalies. He noticed a pattern of non-pattern. Case set A, high-level criminal figures. Murders were swift, brutal, and publicly visible. The motive was clearly vengeance. In every single one of these cases, the primary evidence was declared too degraded or contaminated by weather. Case set B, low-profile individuals. Murders were quiet, chemically clean, and targeted people who possessed sensitive information about Bruce Wayne's network or business. In every one of these cases, samples Batman brought home were dismissed by Alfred's Batcomputer as lab error or misfiled. Batman realized he was fighting 2 unrelated killers, one seeking vengeance on the mob, the other defending a high-profile target from internal threats. What he didn't realize was that both were his family.
Knowing that any digital or physical record would be compromised, Batman set a trap that relied only on specialized, proprietary knowledge. He didn't plant a fake memo. He used an old burner GCPD radio frequency, a tactical band retired years ago, known only to veteran officers and himself, to broadcast a short, encrypted message. Asset transfer confirmed. The Penguin's ledger, containing all GCPD payoffs, will move tonight from Evidence Locker B7 to Arkham East. This would only draw a high-ranking, vengeance-driven cop. Separately, Bruce created a new encrypted digital lock on a decoy server in the cave, labeled GCPD Ledger Key. He used a code phrase Alfred would recognize as dangerous, an emotional trigger. The secret of the Master's father. If Alfred attempted to breach the server or flag the location, it confirmed the cave was monitoring his secrets.
Midnight. The abandoned municipal records building, the fake transfer point. Batman waited, relying solely on his field gear and the directional microphone array he had installed. The microphone array picked up the low-frequency signature of a specific, vintage engine idling 2 blocks away, the sound of an unmarked early 90s Crown Victoria used by GCPD command staff. A moment later, the electronic lock on the record's vault door began to whine. This wasn't a tactical breach. It was a slow, practiced electronic bypass, a skill set required for installing the early custom security systems for Wayne Manor. Ghostface A entered first, moving swiftly to the vault door. He was focused only on securing the ledger to destroy it. Ghostface B entered seconds later through a skylight, rappelling down silently. He was focused on the source of the electronic noise that lured him, the decoy server he believed contained Bruce's dangerous secrets. Ghostface B spotted Ghostface A attempting to gain access to what he believed was Bruce's personal secret key. Ghostface B's voice modulator hissed, "Get away from the Master's property." Ghostface A, mistaking the second killer for a rival vigilante trying to steal the evidence, snarled, "This filth stays in the ground." The 2 Ghostfaces clashed. Gordon fought with brute force and aggression, trying to overpower the rival and access the vault. Alfred, with his defensive parries and focus on non-lethal precision, was fighting only to restrain Gordon from reaching the data. Batman dropped down, hitting the ground between them. The fight was a nightmare. Batman had to anticipate 2 conflicting styles and 2 different sets of knowledge about his fighting tactics. It took the full weight of Batman's training to pin the tactical killer. As Batman finally ripped the mask away, James Gordon gasped, his face etched with desperate, anguished rage. "It was never about justice, Bruce. It was about consequence. You spare the Joker, and my children pay the price. I had to kill the reason he lives." As Batman recoiled from the raw confession, Alfred, seeing the moment of weakness and hearing the self-destructive rhetoric, made his move. He used a precise, disabling strike on Batman's arm, a nerve pinch that paralyzed the limb. Batman instantly recognized the maneuver. It was a specific, signature move taught only for safe, immediate incapacitation during training. A technique only taught and used within the strictest family confines. Batman looked at the man who had just disabled his arm to prevent him from being hurt by Gordon. He gently removed the second mask. "Alfred," Bruce whispered. "I tried to make the files disappear, sir. But the truth of your goodness, it just keeps bringing them back to hurt you. I was only trying to protect your innocence.
I only wanted you safe." Batman secured both men. The complexity of the case was not in the chemistry or the tracking. The failure was not technical. Batman had realized the system was sabotaged, but his mind had refused to accept the implication of who was running the system until the final undeniable evidence of their unique proprietary skills clashed in front of him. He was fighting his own emotional bias. Batman stood over the two men who had been his pillars. He hadn't just solved a case, he had amputated his own life. The killer was gone, but the ghost of his sanity remained.